Listen carefully. Most people live in chaos not because life is chaotic, but because their mind is. They wake up lost, they sleep lost, and in between they fill their day with noise, distractions, and habits that weaken their spirit. They want strength, but they hold on to clutter. They seek clarity, but live in confusion. They desire freedom, yet imprison themselves with their own thoughts. Understand this: an unorganized life is an untrained warrior, and an untrained warrior falls in the first battle. If you want to become invincible, you must first bring order to your mind, your actions, your environment, and your purpose. Only then can your energy flow like water, sharp, clear, unstoppable. Today, I will give you 9 rules. Apply them, and your entire life will transform from scattered to disciplined, from confused to focused, from ordinary to unbeatable. 1. Remove the non-essential. Let me tell you something that most people never realize until it is too late. Life does not become heavy because of responsibilities, goals, or duties. Life becomes heavy because of the unnecessary clutter we allow to stay with us. The weight you feel on your mind every day is not from the things you must do, it is from the things you should have removed long ago. Your mind is drowning under tasks that bring no progress, conversations that bring no clarity, and habits that bring no growth. You carry people who drain your spirit, you hold on to objects that have no meaning, and you keep memories that only reopen old wounds. This is why your energy feels scattered, your focus feels weak, and your direction feels lost. The first step toward becoming invincible is not learning some complex strategy. It is learning how to remove what does not serve you. A martial artist understands that his training space must be clean, empty, and free from anything that disrupts movement. Every object in the room has a purpose. Every tool supports the mission. Nothing useless is allowed to stay. Your life must be treated with the same discipline. Only what helps you grow should remain. Anything that pulls you away from your path must be released without guilt or hesitation. Removing the non-essential means observing your life with honesty. Ask yourself, does this help me or weaken me? Does this person push me forward or hold me back? Does this habit build my future or destroy my potential? If the answer harms your peace, your purpose, or your progress, it must go. This is not cruelty, it is clarity. This is not selfishness, it is survival. When something drains your energy, remove it. When something confuses your direction, limit it. When someone distracts you from becoming your strongest self, distance yourself. You owe this to your own spirit. Simplicity is often misunderstood. People think simplifying your life means losing things, losing people, or living with less. But simplicity is not about having less, it is about having room for more of what truly matters. It is the art of freeing your mind from noise so that your inner power can expand without resistance. When your life becomes simple, your thoughts stop fighting each other. Your decisions become clearer, your emotions become lighter, and your purpose becomes stronger. Simplicity creates space. Space creates clarity. Clarity creates strength. When your mind is sharp, life becomes easy, not because challenges disappear, but because you have removed the unnecessary weight that once made every step feel impossible. The lighter your spirit becomes, the faster you move. The fewer distractions you carry, the higher you rise. This is where invincibility begins, not with strength, but with subtraction. Remove what does not matter, and what truly matters will have the power to transform you. 2. Master the art of daily structure. Most people wake up every morning and enter the day the same way a fighter enters a match, with no strategy, no guard, and no awareness, completely unprepared, completely reactive, and completely vulnerable. They allow the world to decide what they will think, what they will do, and how they will feel. They go wherever the noise pulls them, follow whatever distraction catches their eye, and end the day wondering why nothing changed. This is how an untrained warrior lives, and it leads only to confusion, stress, and wasted time. If you want to become powerful, you must master the art of daily structure. Structure is not a cage, it is a shield. It protects your energy from being scattered. It protects your time from being stolen. It protects your mind from unnecessary battles. A disciplined day creates a disciplined life, and a disciplined life creates an invincible mind. Think of your day as a battlefield. Every hour is a territory, and every task is a move on the board. When you do not plan your moves, you lose the battle before it begins. When you wake up with purpose, you control the pace. You decide what deserves your energy, what deserves your attention, and what deserves to be ignored completely. The world no longer pushes you, you move with intention. Daily structure starts with your mornings. Your morning is the anchor of your entire day. If your morning is chaotic, your mind will be chaotic. If your morning is calm, your mind will be calm. Create a morning routine that strengthens you. Exercise, deep breathing, reflection, planning. These are not small rituals. They are foundations that build mental stability. A strong morning creates a strong mind, and a strong mind controls the entire day. Next, choose your priorities. Not everything matters, and not everything requires your attention. A disorganized person tries to do everything at once and ends up doing nothing well. A disciplined person focuses on what moves them forward, what improves their skills, what nourishes their growth, and what aligns with their purpose. Write down your key tasks. Set clear times for deep work. Protect those hours the way a fighter protects his stance. Nothing should break that focus. Structure also means knowing when to stop. Many people work endlessly without direction, thinking they are being productive while only exhausting themselves. True discipline is not working non-stop. It is working with clarity and resting with purpose. Your mind needs space to breathe, reflect, and reset. Without deliberate rest, your structure collapses. When you control your day, your life expands. You feel lighter because your energy is no longer wasted. You feel calmer because your mind is no longer drowning in uncertainty. You feel stronger because every action you take has meaning. You feel unstoppable because your day follows your lead, not the other way around. Daily structure turns life from a chaotic storm into a clear path. It transforms you from a person who reacts to everything into a person who chooses everything. And when you become the one who chooses, your life becomes a reflection of your discipline, your strength, and your purpose. This is how you move from confusion to clarity, from weakness to power, from ordinary to invincible. Master your day, and you will master your life. 3. Build a system for your mind. If you want to understand a person's mind, you do not need to ask them what they think. You simply need to look at their environment. A scattered room reveals a scattered mind. A messy workspace reveals messy thoughts. A chaotic lifestyle reveals chaotic inner energy. Most people underestimate how deeply their surroundings shape their mental state. But a warrior never ignores this truth. Your external world is the mirror of your internal world. And if you want to organize your life, you must first build a system for your mind by creating order around you. A martial artist keeps his training space clean, not because he cares about appearance, but because clarity in the environment creates clarity in movement. When there is no unnecessary object in the room, the body flows with freedom. When there is no distraction within reach, the mind sharpens naturally. Your environment should function the same way. Everything in your space should serve a purpose. Every item should support the life you want to build. Anything that distracts, confuses, or drains, you must be removed, rearranged, or replaced. A mind without a system becomes overwhelmed easily. It gets pulled in every direction, loses focus, and becomes tired long before any real progress begins. But when you build a system, a mental framework that guides your thoughts, habits, and decisions. You protect your mind from wasting energy on the unnecessary. You create mental order, and mental order is the foundation of invincibility. Start by removing physical clutter. Your space should feel like a dojo, simple, intentional, purposeful. When you walk into your room or workspace, you should feel calm, not stressed. You should feel ready, not confused. You should feel focused, not scattered. Physical clutter does more than take up space. It interrupts your concentration and keeps your mind in a state of low-level anxiety. Clear the room, and your thoughts will clear themselves. Next, organize your tasks and thoughts the same way a fighter organizes his techniques, with structure and precision. Write things down, create simple systems, group similar tasks together. Stop relying on memory for everything, because memory is limited and easily overloaded. A warrior uses tools, lists, reminders, calendars, not because he is weak, but because he respects his mind enough not to flood it with unnecessary pressure. Building a system for your mind also means creating mental routines. How do you handle stress? How do you respond to distraction? How do you calm your thinking when it becomes noisy? Most people let their emotions decide for them, which leads to wild swings in mood and direction. But you must decide how your mind moves. You must learn techniques to reset your energy: deep breathing, stepping away, grounding yourself, or refocusing with intention. When your mind has a system, you no longer panic in chaos. You remain centered. When your environment and mental systems align, something powerful happens. Clarity becomes natural. Your thoughts flow smoothly. Your decisions become easier. You waste less time. You feel more control. You feel more strength. Instead of fighting your mind, you work with it. Instead of wrestling with confusion, you glide through your day the way water glides around obstacles effortlessly, without resistance. Remember this: an unorganized environment silently weakens you, but a structured environment strengthens you without you even realizing it. The world will always try to pull your attention away, but when your space is organized and your mind has a system, distractions lose their power. Your focus becomes a weapon. Your discipline becomes a shield. This is how warriors think. This is how they train. This is how they rise. Build your system, build your structure, and you will build a mind that cannot be shaken. 4. Know what you want and remove what you don't. One of the greatest sources of human suffering is not weakness, not fear, not lack of opportunity, but lack of clarity. Most people wander through life without truly knowing what they want, and because of that, they end up chasing everything. They move from one goal to another, from one desire to another, from one idea to another, hoping each new thing will finally give them direction. But direction does not come from movement, it comes from clarity. You cannot walk the path of a warrior if your eyes cannot see the path in front of you. A warrior does not waste energy swinging his fists in all directions. He selects his target with precision, aligns his body with purpose, and strikes with focus. Life must be lived the same way. If you do not know what you want, your days will be scattered, your energy will be divided, and your results will be weak. You will spend your time reacting instead of creating, drifting instead of advancing, hoping instead of deciding. Clarity is power. When you know exactly what you want, your actions become sharper, your decisions become easier, your direction becomes confident. You stop being pulled by opinions, trends, or the expectations of others. You stop trying to be everything. You become what you choose. But to gain this clarity, you must be brutally honest with yourself. You must ask yourself questions many people avoid. What do I truly want in my life? What kind of person do I want to become? What habits, people, and environments support that? And what pulls me away from that vision? These answers may not come instantly, but the act of asking unlocks awareness, and awareness is the first step of transformation. Knowing what you want is only half of the equation. The other half, the part most people never master, is removing what you don't want. This requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires letting go of comfort, familiarity, and sometimes even people you love. But understand this: a warrior cannot carry everything. A warrior carries only what sharpens him. Anything that distracts, delays, or diminishes him must be set aside. Think of your life like a long journey. Every unnecessary desire is extra weight on your back. Every person who confuses your path is a hand pulling you backward. Every habit that contradicts your purpose is a chain around your ankle. The more weight you carry, the slower you move. The more chains you accept, the harder it becomes to rise. Knowing what you do not want is just as important as knowing what you want, because the things you tolerate become the invisible walls of your life. When you remove what you don't want, your path becomes wider, your mind becomes lighter, your purpose becomes clearer. You stop trying to impress people, you stop chasing validation, you stop living for approval. You begin to move toward a life that actually belongs to you. Most people never experience this because they fear disappointing others more than they fear disappointing themselves. But a warrior cannot live like that. A warrior must choose his path, even if the path is lonely, misunderstood, or different from what others expect. Clarity also brings peace. When you know your direction, you no longer envy others. You no longer compare your path to theirs. You no longer get distracted by every new trend or every new opportunity. You understand that not everything is meant for you, and that is the very thing that gives your life power. You choose what aligns, you reject what doesn't, you become selective, focused, intentional. This is how champions think. This is how disciplined minds operate. This is how strong spirits are formed. And remember this: your purpose does not need to be grand, complicated, or dramatic. It only needs to be true. You do not need to know the entire journey, only the next direction. When a warrior takes one clear step, the next step reveals itself. When he takes another, the path becomes brighter. Clarity grows with movement, but the movement must be toward your true self, not toward what others want you to be. Knowing what you want and removing what you don't is the foundation of an organized life. Without this rule, the rest of the rules collapse. You cannot structure your days if your goals are vague. You cannot manage your energy if your direction is cloudy. You cannot protect your mind if you do not know what your mind is being protected for. Clarity is the compass that guides your discipline, your decisions, and your destiny. When you finally understand what you want, when you courageously remove what you don't, and when you choose your path without hesitation, your life becomes aligned, your mind becomes focused, your spirit becomes steady. And at that point, you no longer walk through life, you advance through it with the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where they are going. This is how you evolve from confusion to certainty, from scattered to structured, from ordinary to unstoppable. A warrior becomes invincible not because he controls everything, but because he controls his direction. 5. Control your inputs like a master. If you want to understand why your life feels heavy, unorganized, or mentally drained, you must look at what enters your mind each day. Your thoughts are not created out of nowhere. They are a direct reflection of what you allow into your inner world. Your inputs, what you watch, what you hear, what you consume, who you spend time with, what you scroll, what you read, these are not small details. They are the builders of your identity. The mind is like a garden. Every input is either a seed that strengthens you or a weed that destroys you. Most people fill their garden with weeds and then wonder why their life feels overgrown with chaos. A warrior is extremely selective about what enters his consciousness. He knows that the mind is a sensitive instrument. It becomes what it absorbs. It mimics the environment it sits in. It reflects the energy it receives. If you constantly take in negativity, your mind becomes negative. If you take in fear, your decisions become fearful. If you consume mindless content, your thinking becomes shallow and unfocused. Many people unknowingly poison their mind every day, not with food, but with information. Controlling your inputs means understanding that everything you allow into your mind has a cost. It either feeds your strength or feeds your weakness. The people you talk to, the conversations you entertain, the media you consume, and the environments you visit all shape your mindset. If someone constantly complains, criticizes, or spreads negativity, their voice becomes a permanent echo inside your mind. If your social media shows nothing but noise, conflict, and drama, your mind becomes restless even when nothing is happening around you. The mind cannot distinguish between real danger and imagined danger. It simply absorbs what you give it. A martial artist protects his body from unnecessary harm. In the same way, you must protect your mind from unnecessary noise. You must train yourself to ask, is this strengthening me or weakening me? Before you give something your attention, do not allow random content to shape your beliefs. Do not allow toxic people to shape your emotions. Do not allow empty entertainment to shape your focus. Every minute you spend absorbing something worthless is a minute stolen from your growth, and most people are robbed by their own habits without realizing it. When you control your inputs, you begin to control your emotional state. Your energy becomes more stable. Your thinking becomes more precise. Your mood becomes calmer. You stop reacting to every small disturbance because your mind is no longer overstimulated. This is why monks protect their environment, why fighters retreat to silence before a match, and why disciplined individuals limit their exposure to noise. They understand that chaos enters the mind through the senses, not through fate. To strengthen your mind, you must feed it with purpose. Read things that elevate your thinking. Watch things that expand your understanding. Listen to voices that challenge you to grow. Surround yourself with people who push you toward discipline, not distraction. Fill your environment with ideas, conversations, and inputs that align with the life you want to build. Your mind becomes sharper, not by accident, but by nourishment. Controlling your inputs also means setting boundaries. You must learn to say no. No to conversations that drain you. No to people who bring confusion. No to digital noise that keeps your mind in a constant state of stimulation and anxiety. No to repetitive habits that numb your brain. A warrior's mind becomes stronger because he protects its energy. A weak mind becomes weaker because it gives its energy to anything and everything without thinking. When you begin to choose your inputs with intention, you experience something most people never feel: mental clarity. Your thoughts become cleaner, your emotions become lighter, your purpose becomes easier to follow. You begin to feel in control of yourself instead of being controlled by your environment. You stop moving through life unconsciously and start navigating it with deliberate awareness. And remember this: your mind is not just a tool, it is your commander. It decides how you see the world, how you act in it, and how far you rise above it. If the commander is weak, the warrior will be weak. But if the commander is strong, focused, and disciplined, nothing can defeat the warrior. This is why controlling your inputs is not optional, it is essential. It is the difference between living intentionally and living reactively, between being in command of your life and being at the mercy of it. Protect what enters your mind with the same discipline that a warrior protects his body. Feed your consciousness with strength, clarity, and purpose. Remove anything that makes you weaker. Your inputs decide your identity. Your identity decides your actions. Your actions decide your destiny. Control what enters your mind, and you will control the direction of your life. 6. Master the power of routine. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is something rare, something dramatic, something that only shows itself in moments of crisis. But discipline is not built in big moments. It is built in the quiet, ordinary, repetitive moments that shape how you live your days. And nothing reveals your discipline more honestly than your routine. Your routine is the truth of your life. It exposes what you value, how you think, how you use your time, and who you are becoming. If your routine is weak, your life will be weak. If your routine is strong, your life will be strong. A warrior does not wait for motivation. He crafts a routine that eliminates the need for motivation. He designs his habits so that success becomes automatic, growth becomes natural, and strength becomes the default state of his mind and body. The human mind craves structure. Without structure, it wanders. Without rhythm, it loses focus. Without repeated action, it becomes fragile. And when the mind is fragile, the body becomes passive and the spirit becomes easily broken. That is why mastering a routine is not just about productivity, it is about mental resilience. It is about building a foundation so solid that even when life becomes chaotic, your inner stability remains unshaken. Your routine begins the moment you wake up. Your morning is not just a part of your day, your morning decides the fate of your entire day. If your first moments are filled with distraction, your mind becomes scattered before you even begin. But if your first moments are filled with intention, your mind becomes calm, alert, and ready to lead. A warrior begins his day with practices that strengthen him: movement, stillness, reflection, planning. These acts tune the mind like a finely crafted instrument. They bring clarity, they sharpen awareness, they steady the heart. And when your morning is powerful, your entire day follows that strength like a shadow. A powerful routine also requires consistency. Not sometimes, not when you feel like it, every day. The purpose of routine is not to impress others. It is to train your mind to obey your direction instead of your emotions. Once you learn to act even when you don't feel like acting, you gain a level of power most people never reach. Most people allow their feelings to decide everything: when they will work, when they will move, when they will rest, when they will improve. But feelings are inconsistent. Feelings are unreliable. Feelings change with the wind. A warrior does not bow to feelings. He bows to purpose. He bows to discipline. He bows to the standard he has set for himself. Another aspect of routine is mastery of your focus hours. You must decide which hours of the day are sacred. These are the times when your mind is strongest, your energy highest, your concentration deepest. In these hours, you should focus on the tasks that matter most: your growth, your work, your learning, your craft. Protect these hours with everything you have. Do not allow interruptions. Do not allow noise. Do not allow anyone to steal your attention. The world will always try to distract you. People will always try to pull you away. But a disciplined person protects his focus like a lion protects its territory. This type of disciplined repetition creates mastery in anything you pursue. Your routine must also include recovery, not laziness recovery. A warrior understands that rest is part of strength, not the opposite of it. Without rest, your routine becomes punishment, not progress. Without recovery, your mind becomes dull and your spirit becomes drained. Rest is deliberate and intentional. It is used to refuel the body, sharpen the mind, and renew the spirit. A balanced routine includes moments of effort and moments of stillness, moments of intensity and moments of release. It is this harmony that creates sustainable strength. One of the greatest benefits of mastering routine is that it removes uncertainty. You no longer waste energy deciding what to do, when to do it, or how to begin. Everything is structured, everything is predictable. Your actions follow a rhythm that reinforces your purpose. You conserve energy for the things that matter instead of constantly battling doubt, hesitation, or indecision. When routine becomes part of your identity, your life accelerates naturally. You begin to experience a sense of control, focus, and momentum that most people never taste. Many people think routine makes life boring, but the truth is the opposite. Routine makes life peaceful. Routine creates space for creativity, clarity, and growth. When the foundation of your day is stable, your mind becomes free to explore, to create, to imagine. Routine does not trap you, it frees you. It frees you from chaos. It frees you from anxiety. It frees you from the constant feeling of being behind. When your days are aligned with your purpose, your life becomes meaningful and powerful. Mastering your routine is mastering yourself. It is training the mind to lead and the body to follow. It is training your actions to stay consistent, even when circumstances try to break you. It is training your spirit to rise, even when life becomes difficult. Routine turns discipline into a lifestyle. And when discipline becomes your lifestyle, you become someone who cannot be broken, distracted, or defeated. This is how warriors move. This is how masters rise. This is how unstoppable minds are built, not through rare moments of inspiration, but through repeated daily commitment. Craft your routine. Strengthen it. Protect it. And watch your life transform from unstable to unstoppable. 7. Train your mind to finish what you start. There is a silent truth that most people never confront. The world is full of starters but painfully empty of finishers. Everyone begins things with excitement, motivation, and great ambition, but very few carry their intentions to completion. People abandon projects halfway, quit habits after a few days, leave goals unfinished, and walk away from commitments the moment things become difficult. And then they wonder why their life never changes, why they never feel confident, and why they always feel stuck at the same level year after year. The answer is simple. Their mind has never been trained to finish. Finishing what you start is not just a habit, it is a form of inner strength. It is a mental muscle. And like any muscle, it grows only when it is challenged repeatedly. The moment you give up on something, the moment you leave something incomplete, you weaken that muscle. You teach your mind a dangerous lesson that quitting is an option, that inconsistency is acceptable, that abandoning your goals comes without consequences. But there is always a consequence. You begin to distrust yourself. When a warrior starts something, he finishes it not because it is easy, but because he has committed to the path. Finishing is not about talent or luck. It is about integrity. It is about being someone your future self can rely on. Most people think confidence comes from motivation, but true confidence comes from keeping your own promises. When you finish what you start, you create a deep sense of trust within your mind, and that trust becomes a source of unstoppable power. You must understand that your mind pays attention to your actions more than your intentions. Every time you say you will do something and then fail to do it, your mind registers that as weakness. Every time you quit halfway, your mind learns that discipline is negotiable. Every time you abandon a goal, your mind becomes more fragile. But every time you complete something, even something small, your mind strengthens. It learns that your words have weight. It learns that your decisions matter. It learns that you are in control. Finishing also teaches resilience. When you move toward any meaningful goal, challenges will appear. Without the mindset of completion, these challenges will defeat you quickly. But when your identity is built around finishing, challenges become part of the process rather than a reason to retreat. A warrior does not stop when things get difficult. He adapts, he adjusts, he finds another angle. He pushes forward because completing the mission is not optional, it is necessary. To train your mind to finish, start with small commitments. Choose something simple but consistent. Work on a habit for 30 days straight. Read a few pages every night without skipping. Complete daily tasks, no matter how small they seem. These actions may appear insignificant, but they are powerful because they reshape your identity from the inside out. Once you begin seeing yourself as someone who finishes, you start approaching bigger things with a different energy. The hesitation reduces, the fear weakens, the self-doubt begins to fade. Completion becomes part of who you are. You must also remove the illusion that you need motivation to finish. Motivation is temporary. It fades quickly. It shines brightly at the start but disappears when the effort becomes uncomfortable. Discipline, however, is steady. It is the choice to keep going even when you feel nothing. The warrior who depends on motivation is weak, but the warrior who depends on discipline is unstoppable. Completing something is not about how you feel, it is about what you committed to. Another reason people fail to finish is perfectionism. They start something with unrealistic expectations and then quit because they do not see immediate results or because the process is not perfect. But perfection is the enemy of consistency. The warrior understands that progress, not perfection, is what matters. Finishing something imperfectly teaches more strength than abandoning something perfectly planned. The world rewards completion, not dreams. There will be times when finishing feels slow, boring, or repetitive. This is where most people quit. But understand this, the true growth of your mind happens in the repetition. Every moment you continue while your mind is bored is a moment of discipline. Every moment you continue while your emotions are low is a moment of resilience. Every moment you continue while progress feels invisible is a moment of transformation. You are not just finishing a task, you are remaking your identity. Finishing what you start also creates momentum. Once you complete one thing, you feel capable of completing the next. Once you finish a small goal, you feel empowered to pursue a bigger one. Completion builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds courage. Courage builds greatness. This is the chain reaction most people never experience because they quit before the transformation begins. Remember, every incomplete project drains your energy. Every undone task sits in your mind like a small weight. The more unfinished things you carry, the heavier your mental load becomes. This is why life feels overwhelming. For many people, they are carrying too many half-built bridges. A warrior builds one bridge fully, then walks across it confidently. Training your mind to finish what you start is one of the greatest disciplines you can develop. It will shape your character, your destiny, your identity, and your future. When you become someone who finishes, you become a rare individual in a world full of quitters. You become the person others cannot compete with because you have developed a level of mental endurance they do not possess. You rise above mediocrity. You step into mastery. Finish what you start, not for others, but for yourself. Do it because your future depends on the strength you are building today. Do it because every completion is a step toward invincibility. Do it because a warrior who finishes is a warrior who cannot be defeated. 8. Remove chaos from your relationships. If you truly want to organize your life and become invincible, you must confront one of the most difficult truths. You cannot rise while surrounded by chaotic people. You cannot evolve while living inside relationships that drain your spirit, cloud your judgment, and constantly pull you away from your purpose. People underestimate how deeply their environment affects their strength, but a warrior knows the truth. Your circle is either sharpening you or weakening you. There is no neutral influence. Every relationship you have is either building your discipline or destroying it, feeding your clarity or feeding your confusion, strengthening your energy or leaking it away. Most people stay stuck not because they lack skill or intelligence, but because they are tied to the wrong individuals. They stay around people who complain, gossip, doubt, criticize, and distract. They stay around people who create problems instead of solutions, who encourage comfort instead of growth, who choose drama instead of peace. And slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to reflect the same patterns. Chaos spreads like smoke. You may not notice it at first, but you will feel it in your lungs eventually. If your relationships are filled with chaos, it does not matter how organized your room is, how disciplined your routine is, or how clear your goals are, your mind will still remain unsettled because chaos attacks your inner stability, not just your external environment. Removing chaos from your relationships does not mean becoming heartless or arrogant. It means protecting your mental space the same way a warrior protects his body. It means understanding that not every person who walks into your life deserves a seat in your inner circle. It means recognizing that your peace is more valuable than someone's temporary presence. You must learn to differentiate between those who lift you and those who limit you, between those who respect your path and those who disturb it. To do this, you must observe people's patterns, not their promises. Anyone can promise change. Anyone can speak beautifully. Anyone can pretend to care when it benefits them. But patterns reveal truth. Consistent negativity is a pattern. Constant drama is a pattern. Always taking but never giving is a pattern. Never celebrating your growth is a pattern. Pulling you away from your goals is a pattern. These patterns are the early signs of chaos, and if you ignore them, they will grow until they damage your clarity, your focus, and your confidence. A warrior chooses his circle with intention. He seeks people who speak truth, not comfort. People who encourage discipline, not laziness. People who respect time, not waste it. People who bring peace, not noise. People who challenge him to grow, not trap him in old habits. The right relationships are like fuel. They ignite your purpose, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your resilience. The wrong relationships are like poison. They weaken your spirit, confuse your path, and slow down your progress until you barely recognize yourself. Removing chaotic relationships requires courage. It requires you to set boundaries, even when it feels uncomfortable. It requires you to walk away from people you once depended on. It requires you to accept that some individuals are not meant to stay for the journey you are building. Many people fear walking alone, but walking with the wrong people is far more dangerous. A warrior is not afraid to be alone because he knows solitude strengthens him. In silence, he becomes clearer. In solitude, he becomes sharper. A warrior walks alone when necessary because he would rather walk alone on the right path than be surrounded on the wrong one. Understand this. The energy of the people around you directly affects the quality of your thoughts. If you surround yourself with chaotic individuals, your mind becomes chaotic. If you surround yourself with undisciplined individuals, your habits become undisciplined. If you surround yourself with people who seek distractions, you begin to lose your focus. This is not weakness, it is human nature. You become what you are exposed to. This is why a warrior guards his circle with the same precision that he guards his technique. He knows that one wrong influence can unravel years of discipline. Removing chaos does not mean cutting off everyone immediately. It means reorganizing your relationships with wisdom. Limit your exposure to those who drain you. Reduce your emotional investment in people who waste your time. Stop trying to fix individuals who do not want to change. Give your time and energy to those who bring clarity, encouragement, stability, and respect. Build a circle that reflects your goals, not your past. Build a network that aligns with your growth, not your excuses. When you remove chaos from your relationships, something powerful happens. You breathe differently. Your mind becomes quieter. Your thoughts become sharper. Your routine becomes smoother. Your goals become clearer. Your spirit becomes lighter. Suddenly, you are no longer fighting invisible battles created by other people's energy. You reclaim your mental space. You reclaim your emotional strength. You reclaim your direction. A clean circle creates a clean mind. A clean mind creates an organized life. And an organized life makes you a warrior who cannot be shaken by noise, chaos, or confusion. Your environment becomes your support system. Your relationships become your reinforcement. Your circle becomes your shield. This is how true strength is built, not just through training the body, but through protecting the mind from the people who disturb its peace. Remove chaos from your relationships, and you remove one of the greatest barriers to your growth. You will rise faster, think clearer, and move with a level of confidence you have never experienced before. Only then can you become invincible. 9. Live like water. Adapt, adjust, advance. If you want to understand the essence of becoming invincible, you must understand the nature of water. Water is one of the most powerful teachers in existence, yet most people look at it without seeing its wisdom. Water does not resist. Water does not panic. Water does not fear obstacles. Water does not force its way through life, and yet water shapes mountains, carves valleys, survives storms, and finds its way through the smallest cracks. Water is soft, but it is also unstoppable. It is humble, but it is also undefeated. This perfect balance of softness and strength is what makes water the most powerful force in nature, and it is the mindset you must adopt if you want to organize your life and rise beyond every limitation. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they refuse to adapt. They cling to rigid plans, fixed expectations, and old versions of themselves. They want life to move according to their emotions. They want people to behave according to their desires. They want circumstances to unfold exactly as they imagined. And when life does not follow their script, they break, they complain, they resist, they drown in frustration. They become angry at the world, never realizing that the problem is not life, the problem is their rigid mind. A rigid mind shatters easily, but a flexible mind becomes unbreakable. A warrior does not fear change, he flows with it. He does not fear unexpected challenges, he adjusts to them. He does not fear new environments, he adapts to them. This ability to bend without breaking, to shift without losing strength, is what separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the exceptional, the defeated from the unstoppable. Living like water means understanding that life is not supposed to stay the same. Seasons change, people change, opportunities come and go, paths shift, and circumstances evolve. Your power is not in controlling the world, it is in responding to it with clarity and strength. When setbacks appear, water does not stop flowing, it simply finds another path. When obstacles rise, water does not force itself through, it moves around them. When pressure increases, water becomes stronger. When placed in a different container, water takes the shape of that container. It remains true to itself while adjusting to whatever environment it enters. This is not weakness, it is mastery. Adaptation is not surrender. Adaptation is strategy. It is the ability to look at a situation with calmness and ask, what is the best way forward? Instead of panicking and saying, why is this happening to me? When you stop reacting emotionally and start responding intelligently, you gain mastery over your life. Your mind becomes steady, your actions become precise, your decisions become wise. You no longer waste energy resisting reality. You use your energy to move within it. To live like water, you must release attachment to how you think things should be. Expectations are often the heaviest weights on the human mind. People create detailed fantasies about how their life must unfold, and when reality differs, they crumble. But a warrior understands that life does not follow your expectations, it follows its nature. And when you align yourself with nature instead of fighting it, your path becomes much smoother. You begin to see possibilities instead of problems, openings instead of obstacles, lessons instead of failures. Another aspect of being like water is emotional flow. Water does not hold on to any form for too long. It moves, it shifts, it transforms. In the same way, you must allow emotions to flow through you instead of trapping them inside. Anger comes, let it move. Sadness comes, let it move. Fear comes, let it move. The mind becomes chaotic when emotions stay stuck, but it becomes calm when emotions can pass freely. Strength is not the absence of emotion. Strength is the ability to keep moving despite emotion. Water also teaches you patience. It does not rush, it does not force, it does not demand immediate results. It moves steadily, consistently, and confidently, knowing that persistence will eventually create transformation. A river does not carve stone overnight. It does so through constant flow. Your growth works the same way. You do not need dramatic change every day. You need consistent effort, calm direction, and unwavering persistence. With time, your discipline will carve your destiny just as water carves the earth. Living like water also means staying true to your purpose, even when the environment shifts. No matter what container you pour water into, a bowl, a cup, a riverbed, or the cracks of a stone, water remains water. It changes shape, but it never changes nature. This is the heart of invincibility, adjusting your actions without losing your essence. You must not allow circumstances, people, or problems to change who you are. You can adapt your approach, change your strategy, shift your environment, but your inner truth must remain steady. A warrior who lives like water becomes emotionally unshakable, mentally adaptable, and spiritually grounded. Chaos cannot break him, pressure cannot distort him, change cannot confuse him. He flows with life instead of fighting it, and because of that, life becomes something he navigates with ease rather than something he suffers through. And finally, water advances. It does not stay still unless it chooses to. It constantly moves forward, even if progress is slow or invisible. This is the final lesson. No matter how many times life shifts, no matter how many obstacles appear, no matter how many challenges rise, you keep moving, you adjust your flow, you shift your path, you adapt your technique, but you advance. Always advance. Forward movement, even small, is what keeps your spirit alive and your purpose burning. When you live like water, adaptable, flexible, calm, persistent, and true to your nature, you become impossible to break. You become a person who moves through life with clarity and confidence. You become someone who cannot be defeated by circumstance, chaos, or change. And it is in this state that you discover the true meaning of invincibility. Now that you have heard these 9 rules, understand something very important. Organizing your life is not about cleaning your room, arranging your schedule, or stacking your habits neatly like boxes on a shelf. It is about mastering yourself. Every rule I have given you is a doorway into a deeper level of inner discipline, mental clarity, and personal power. Most people focus on controlling the outside world, but a warrior focuses on controlling the inside world, because when the inside is disciplined, the outside naturally follows. When you remove what is unnecessary, you free your mind. When you structure your days, you free your time. When you build systems for your mind, you free your focus. When you know what you want and remove what you don't, you free your direction. When you control your inputs, you free your energy. When you master your routines, you free your identity. When you finish what you start, you free your confidence. When you remove chaotic relationships, you free your environment. And when you live like water, you free your entire spirit. Each rule is connected. Each rule strengthens the next. Each rule builds a foundation under your feet and armor around your mind. When these 9 rules work together, they transform you from a reactive, scattered, easily shaken person into a grounded, centered, disciplined warrior. You stop being pulled by emotions. You stop being distracted by noise. You stop being controlled by other people's chaos. You rise above confusion, above laziness, above weakness, above anything that once held you back. But remember this, knowing the rules is not enough. Understanding them is not enough. Listening to them is not enough. You must live them. The gap between knowledge and transformation is action. A warrior becomes unstoppable not because he knows what to do, but because he applies what he knows every single day. Discipline turns ideas into reality. Action turns potential into ability. Consistency turns effort into mastery. Most people will forget this message by tomorrow. They will return to old habits, old distractions, old patterns. That is the path of the ordinary. But if you choose these rules, if you live them, breathe them, practice them consistently, you will walk a different path. You will not simply organize your life, you will transform it. You will not simply gain control, you will gain mastery. You will not simply survive, you will advance. The warrior's path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Each step you take strengthens your character. Each discipline you build sharpens your mind. Each challenge you face expands your spirit. And when you follow these 9 rules long enough, something incredible happens. You stop chasing invincibility because you become it. Your power will come from your clarity. Your confidence will come from your discipline. Your strength will come from your consistency. And your peace will come from your ability to live like water, calm, adaptable, and unstoppable. Organize your life, protect your mind, guard your energy, walk your path with purpose. And remember, the greatest victory is not over others, but over yourself. Master yourself, and no opponent in this world will ever defeat you.